folks, and welcome to the Single 8 Show Half-Hour Power Hour. Your name is...
My name is Michael Davis. Your name is...
Hannah Mills, y'all.
That felt good. I haven't done that intro in a minute.
This is going to be a wonderful gay day, because we are talking about nothing more other than the last 3 episodes of Agatha All Along.
There was an interview that Aubrey Plaza did before Agatha All Along aired on Disney Plus, and somebody asked her, how do you feel about being on the show that is being accused of giving out LGBTQ vibes? And she said, that's the only reason I got on this show. So it was quite a great episode as they got to the end of the Witch's Road. And so we're doing 2 weeks, right? We're doing the last 3 episodes on this one. So we get down the Witch's Road, we get to the solution, and then we get to what is going to be a connector piece, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back 3 episodes to pick up where we got off on our last episode. We know that we finally know some names and it gets real.
Yep. We pick up pretty much directly where we left off. No, we don't. We pick up with Patty Rapone falling.
Yeah, let's talk about that whole escape room excursion for a moment. That they have to figure out something with the tarot cards, which plays into Patty Rapone's strengths. So, speak away, Single H.
We start with Patty Rapone falling, and then we cut to Agatha pulling herself out of the ground.
Yes.
And meeting up with, spoiler alert if you didn't see the Funko Pops, with Billy Maximoff.
Yes. So we know now officially, as we revealed in our last episode, Billy Maximoff, and we went through that whole story of how he took over the soul of this body of this other kid. His soul took it over, or joined with their being.
Yes.
Yes.
And Ralph Boner was there.
Did we ever talk about Ralph Boner last time?
We need to acknowledge the Ralph Boner of the situation. This episode is now rated R.
We have to celebrate the return of Ralph Boner, and we have to celebrate what I hope to get for Christmas is a Boner Family Camping Adventure t-shirt. Pitch a tent with the Boner family.
Yeah. There's not a shirt that's more Daddy Man McGee than that, honestly.
I need to have that shirt.
I think that shirt is what you personified.
Yes. That is the dad joke supreme right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get the return of Ralph Boner as teen and the boyfriend
Eddie. The boy. I love Eddie. I wish we got more of him.
Yes.
But who knows? We'll probably run into him in other Marvel projects.
He may return.
Maybe they'll make him a Hulkling instead of whatever the cheesy eye that they did with the end of She-Hulk. That did look good. That doesn't look like Wiccan with...
That's true. But
everyone had their
that's true.
So.
That's very true. So we know his identity. We move into Patty Rapone falling, and this episode really goes back and forth in time, like a lot. There were times I got confused about what was happening, because they would get to one place and then time would revert And they kept going back and forth.
Because it was supposed to be confusing.
Yeah.
Because we were going through Patty Rapone's character's point of view.
Yeah, and her...
The whole way through, except with some scenes that would let Agatha and Billy.
Yeah. Was one of her things about being caught in multiple timelines or something?
So, she says it in the episode to Jennifer, like, no one knows the Jen, but time is an illusion.
Yeah.
And basically, she's moving up and down her life.
Yeah.
Because we jump to the first time she's practicing divination. We jump to every trial we've seen up to that point.
We jump forwards and backwards to her being a child and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful to see how well, unsurprisingly, Patty Rapone carried that episode.
Not surprisingly at all.
Yeah.
She is a superb actress, and she carried that very well and was able to solve the mysteries and help people escape. And then we begin to understand why that she was falling.
Yeah.
They explain it all. Because like any time clock, it gets turned upside down and the sands begin to fall again.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to get it to the trial. I'm trying to fully get it where you are at.
Okay, get us to the trial.
Agatha said the last we pick up from that end of scene of that episode when goes, why is Billy Maximoff on the road? And kind of pokes around at the whole Maximoff family, the whole Matchbridge family. Make fun of Vision for a second. Forget Tommy's name. And consistently, as we'll see throughout the last couple episodes, she keeps on forgetting Sharon's name throughout the whole series, and it's an ongoing joke.
Is
that
Sharon
somehow... Yeah.
Okay.
That somehow always land without fail.
Yeah.
They found their running joke, and they went, this is working, we're going to keep on with it.
That's true. That's true. So,
and then they get to the castle in which they see that there's swords that are falling from the ceiling, and they both start tarot, and then we cut back to Patty Rapone's character for the rest of the episode. It's all her point of view.
Yeah. As it jumps back and forth in her timeline. And it's like she figures out something and remembers it and then goes back and does it right.
Yeah, she figures out something while her spirit is jumping between versions of her.
Yeah.
And every time so new rocks are great. They're at the start and end of every act in this episode, they go back to her first lesson.
Yeah. And what was the point of her first lesson?
To learn divination, to gain control of her abilities.
Yes.
And that's what she's doing throughout the whole episode, is gaining back that control.
Yes.
After losing her coven for what I think is the Black Death. High probability being in France.
Yeah.
At that time of era.
Yeah.
And that kind of... Because every trial had been everyone dealing with their trauma.
Yes.
And dealing with it in like a healthy way, with a little bit of healthy violence here and there.
For sure.
Maybe it's an Agatha trial, but that was supposed to be her getting punished for everything she's done.
Yeah.
And yeah, for this part of the episode, we're gonna be going out about Patty Rapone.
Yeah.
She did so good this episode. I feel like she never weighed any of the scenes down. They were never played for laughs.
She definitely has shown why that she has just been a Tony Award actress for so many years.
Yeah.
And did very, very well. And let's go ahead and jump through this episode. She finally gets into the room. She's able to sit down and solve the tarot mystery. And within doing that, she also gets rid of the 7 sisters.
Yeah, the Salem 7.
The Salem 7. And that was pretty cool.
And I love how it fit from her falling down to falling up.
Yes.
I think that passed through.
That's a good imagery.
Yeah, she went from falling down into the black into literally falling up into the ceiling But at the same time, I'm like, she should have, she was in range. If she had a little bit more grip on the thing, she could have flipped back the card.
Well, maybe, but would that have fixed the room?
Yeah, that would have flipped the room over, and they would still be dead.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
maybe not her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
but she could have got a better grip and pulled herself over and hugged the table or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, the journey had to be her journey, and I like how that episode ended, that it ended back at the beginning. It looped back through to the beginning of her life.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea maybe she's still okay.
And in that third act, we get the reveal that Rio doll is dead.
Yep, and we get to see it too.
Yeah.
That makeup was amazing.
I kind of want a whole part of the documentary for it when it comes out. That'd be a part that's about that makeup. I'm like, I want to know how you guys dealt with doing it, because when you do those effects, they normally happen for the whole face.
Yeah.
It's not normally one part of it. So I'm like, I want to know how you guys got the mouth area to make the
I would
structure.
like to see that too. So is that how the pop is? Can you see the skeletal part on the pop?
So the pop is her episode 9, episode 8 look.
Okay.
To her.
I lost count of the episodes, so is it her regular face or her skeletal face?
Her regular face.
Okay.
It is her,
okay.
the green witch look with her crown.
Okay.
I love that her crown was made off of leaves.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm like, yes.
I wouldn't want them to make one for a skeletal look too.
Probably they will. If enough people talk about it, it will happen.
Well, we're starting on the Single A Show Power Hour talking about it.
Yeah.
As we talk about death, we might as well move to our commercials very quickly and talk about Rolling Greens, Golf and Cemetery. That's right. This is our episode after our Halloween trunk-or-treat extravaganza. Each hole decorated with your favorite Halloween-themed shenanigans and candy galore. Hole by hole celebrating the joy of Halloween, the joy of championship golf, but always remembering the ones who went on before us. That's right, friends. Rolling Greens, Golf and Cemetery. Make the place you got your hole-in-one the place you got your candy and your hole for one. Rolling Greens.
And come and get your cup of roasted blue coffee coffee and come down to Hatchetfield to Beanie Diner and Coffee Shop and come sing to your death. And don't forget to come down to Toy Zone, because Black Friday's coming down for that $49.95 to get your Tickle Me Wiggly.
And you know what Old Man Mills says about Tickly Wiggly?
They're awesome. I don't want to do that bit. Okay. I'm mad that they ran out of them on the Star Kids shop.
They're gone.
Yep, they're gone.
Alright, so she's deaf.
Yeah. And man, like that makeup look, that made me happy. Yeah. I'm like, there's nothing that made me more happy that day than seeing that makeup look, knowing about the Funko Pop reveal. Yeah. And I'm like, how are they gonna do it? And now I've also sent our wonderful Rick Kane to whenever that she sees it to send me where it is on the interweb for me to buy it, because I want
you want the deaf pop?
I want the gay couple.
We're gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah.
And I have a special announcement for that one too.
Yeah.
But so we're into that episode. So now we're down to just Agatha and Billy
and Jennifer.
But what happens to Jennifer? Jennifer gets lost in the last.
No.
Disappear. She doesn't.
Jennifer goes out of the ground and flies out of Westfield.
Yeah, but she's not in the last test, though.
Yeah, she is.
She is?
The last test is the...
Was the tarot cards?
It's the coffin room.
The coffin room.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we haven't talked about that. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So the last test is kind of like, how are you going to get your glory at the end of the road?
Yeah.
And we start in a coffin room, conceivably. Maybe a crematorium, maybe?
Yeah.
I think it might be like how the room's set up. It's kind of like it's a crematorium.
Yeah. Sort of like a police evidence locker where they keep dead bodies that are still evidence in trials and cases and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they come out of the walls.
Yes.
In like a sliding door technique. And they all have everything they need on them. Until Billy decides to throw...
Excuse me, my God. We're live, pal.
Be humane and wipe your face off and your hands.
Yes. So, I missed this trial, so I need you to explain the trial.
So that trial, they're in a coffin room, they're kind of, that is where they get their glory at the end of the road.
Yes.
That is their,
so how
first thing that Jen does is figure out that Agatha binded her in the 1920s.
Yeah, and she gets unbound.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she does it, and it's amazing how...
Yes. And she gets her powers back.
Yes. And then we get, pretty much for the rest of the episode, that's Billy, Agatha, and Death.
Yes. And we get into this long fight, and...
We're not there yet.
Okay.
Let me get through the trial.
Okay.
Sorry. And then Agatha helps Billy find a body for Tommy.
Yes.
Find...
Oh, that's that little scene when the kid drowns.
Yes.
So now Tommy has a body.
Yes.
Okay.
Billy, that's why Billy had said, I can feel him, but I can't touch him. I can't...
Yeah.
I can't click July where he is, because had been with Billy the whole time.
Yeah.
And one of lines Agatha said during it is, you can't hold on to him anymore.
Yeah.
And that's when Billy puts him into the body. And then Billy leaves, leaving Agatha with the locket to take out a piece of what I imagine to be Rio's adult hairs.
Yes.
Or Nicholas's, but I wanted to be Rio very badly.
Yeah.
But it probably Nicholas Rath's hair.
Yeah.
With a seed on the end of it.
And planted, and the way she got her powers back was making that thing grow in that room.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she runs out, and then we get an epic fight.
Yeah, she comes storming out of the storm cellar of her house.
Yep.
And they have a fight in her backyard.
And then we get the Billy, the Wiccan outfit that it's literally, it looked the same as the comics.
Yeah.
They literally made it look the same because they went, oh, the design is wonderful, let's keep with it.
Yeah.
That replacing, he normally had like a band on his head in the comic, replacing it with the crown we have seen him have in other episodes.
Yeah.
And he gives some of his power to Agatha.
And we begin to learn a lot from that. He very directly asked her to not take it all.
Yep.
Yeah. And she obliges and doesn't. And then we get into this fight. So there's a lot that happens during this fight, but let's jump straight to what it looks like Agatha does to Billy.
Agatha looked like she's sacrificing Billy to death.
Yes.
For her to stay on the plane until Billy kind of goes, is this what you did to Nicholas?
Uh-huh.
And then she runs up to death and catches her.
And what Focus on the Family calls the sexiest lesbian kiss in the history of television. She sacrifices herself by kissing death, and that sets Billy free.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we get Billy free, and he's back in his room, and it looks like that he created the Witch's Road.
He created it, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go with the Hex vibe.
Yeah, which that has him having to process all this stuff, because if he created the Witch's Robe, then he has to answer for Patti LuPone and Kitty and the Asian singer
Alice Wu Golliver.
Yeah.
We love Alice.
And they kind of work that all the way through. But to do that, we learn about Agatha's complete history. So I want to sum up that whole episode in this one statement.
Yes.
So that we're not kind of stuck on it. It shows her that she made up the Witch's Road as a scheme to steal other witches' powers.
Yep, and to keep Nicholas alive.
And there's one moment that Nicholas lets a witch free, and that's when he starts to get sick.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he died that night. And I have to say, they did this episode really well.
Yes.
With tying every piece together throughout the season. And I'm kind of like, okay, I wish we got to see, the only, really note I had was after, episode 8, it, could we see the binding moment of her binding Jennifer? Because that was the only moment, but I'm sure
and that really wasn't necessary.
Yeah, I'm like, you said it, I believe it is true, but I'm kind of like, well, we're back here, why not? Well, while we're doing a little bit of a flashback storytelling bit, can we see Jennifer or see like a little bit of that relationship before the flashback started and had like at least one hit back? Because I think there might have been a scene that was deleted that was Agatha and Death meeting over the bodies of her first coven with her
because
mother.
She's pretty much also feeding Death. She feeds all those other Deaths so that it keeps Nikki alive, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then it finally came the moment that she couldn't do that again, so it was shifted over to Nikki went to Death.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we get to the end of it all, which was we see her reemerge as a ghost, and
which is very close to how she looked in the comic books.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much again like page screen. It was
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Billy finds a way to kind of close the Witch's Road. But now they're going to go off and find
Tommy. And he put all their names on the floor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
A way to honor them all.
But internally, I'm also, during that scene, I'm like, Ralph is gonna go home now, and she left that on his floor.
Was that in Ralph's house?
Yep. Agatha took over Ralph's house.
Agatha took over Ralph's house. So
for 3 years after that.
Ralph Boner will go back and see a tombstone in his basement.
Yep.
Well, that was a lot to process.
Yeah.
We actually covered 3 episodes full of stuff to conclude our journey with Agatha all along. Let's wait until next week to kind of do an overview about how we felt about the show.
Yeah, that's what I would type of planning. And next week will be Only Murders in the Building, followed up by an Agatha season overall review.
And then after that, the week after that, Only Murders in the Building overall review.
Yep, and then we'll return to form until there's
a new show for us to watch.
Yeah, or Critical Role does a weird thing during an episode that I want to blabber about.
Well, that sounds good.
But that's returning to form anyways.
Well, that was a Single A Show half hour, power hour, a whole hour, power hour for this week.
Your name is?
My name is Michael Davis. Your name is?
Hannah Mills, y'all. Have a great week.